What's up? How's everybody doing? Felicia, hello. LG, what up, my brother? Shout out to everybody. You already know we're gonna let a few people get in the live. Take a minute or two, let some people get in. Maddie Champ, what's good? Hope everybody's doing good out there. We about to uplift the frequency again, like we did last night. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming in. Peace, 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 and love. Again, we about to uplift this frequency again. We're gonna keep doing it. All right. I'm gonna go live and we're gonna get together and uplift the frequency as much as possible during this time period so these individuals don't get what they want. This is what they want. All right. So we're gonna keep doing it. And I advise all the other YouTubers and other people that do what I do to do the same thing. If they're not, and I don't know. But if I got the time, guys, during these next couple days, I'm gonna keep going live. All right, I'm doing the consultations at the same time, but I'm gonna keep going live as much as possible. So I got you guys. Thank you for coming into the live stream. Everybody coming in, please hit that like button for me. I appreciate that. So while we're waiting for people to get in, just how's everybody doing? You can put it in the chat. I'm reading the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now, as usual. Always participating. I love you guys. How's everybody doing during these times right now? Anybody getting any work done? You getting ready for the solstice? Not the solstice, the equinox. That's what I hope that you all are getting ready for. Okay. Peace and love, brother. You guys getting ready for this solstice? I keep saying solstice. I want to say solstice so bad. Equinox. Remember what I was saying last night about the equinox? This being a very, very important equinox, probably the most important in your lives. All right. Probably the most important in your lives, representing the big number 22, the master builder. I said last night that the zeros represent you. Okay. LG said, I got a new job right after my shift. Okay. That's what's up, brother. Oh, no shelter yet. See, Diggs, what do you mean by that? No shelter in place for residents. What's going on over there? But again, like I said, the whole reason for this, Maddie, we about to keep uplifting. That's what we about to do. Like the title says, fear is destruction. All right, so we're gonna keep coming here as a community and dispelling that fear. All right, dispelling the fear of what's going on right now. Stellar, the equinox is the peak is March 22nd. All right, I know on Google they say March 19th. But the portal really starts to open March 20th and then starts to dissipate March 24th. So very, very critical time. Very, very critical time, because the main thing I want to say in this live is that you fallen victim to the fear of what's going on. You're catching this fear. You fallen victim to everything that's being spoken about. Again, this lowers your vibration, which lowers everything. Okay. Hold on 1 second. $1,000 to everyone to think that's going to hell. C Diggs, you said some states like NY has mandatory stay home. Yeah, the whole tri-state area, because that's where I live at. I live in Philadelphia, so Philly, Jersey, New York, they were one of the first, this area was one of the first to really shut down everything. I don't know how it is for everybody else's state outside of the tri-state, but out here, New York, Philly, Jersey, everything is shut down. Okay? Everything is shut down. Oh, Maddie, your birthday is the 21st. Oh man, that's an awakening for you, brother. Like I always say, if your birthday, anybody's birthday is between the 20th and the 23rd, you're considered a cusp individual. So my birthday's on the 22nd of September. All right, so that's the cusp between Virgo and Libra. And as we all know, cusp individuals, they have a lot of internal conflict. But this is what makes them special, you could say. But the internal conflict, okay? Yes, he did. Like as you guys already knew, like I was saying before in my other videos, because remember when I was saying the equinox is about movement. The equinox is about moving energy. So that's why I had all these trips set up. I was traveling around the whole US for the next 2 months, actually. But again, that got messed up. But like I said, I'm still gonna be doing the work, because obviously I'm taking it as I have work to do with the people. Okay. So that's why I was opening up the consultations back again. I got work to do with the people. And so I gotta be here right with you guys, keeping this vibration high than you. This is how we make change. Everything is like a domino effect. This is why I want to say that fear is destruction. Because also fear works like a domino effect. As you can see, the first moment they started putting this stuff on the news, everything started spreading. All right. Because again, we got to know that the power of the human subconscious mind. You got to understand the power of the human subconscious mind. So what I mean is that we all know the phrase, where attention goes, energy flows. All right. So you actually put power into things. Imagine if you have thousands of people. Think about all the people all around the world. You have thousands, millions of people all thinking on the same thing. This could be a good thing, but also could be a bad thing, as we see in this case. All these subconscious minds all in one accordance. Do you know how powerful that is? You know how much power you're given to the situation just by being fearful of the situation. Okay. I already said that we should have been practicing the things that, that all of us are speaking about anyway. We wouldn't have to worry about these external things. But remember, like I said, it could be anything. Somebody can make something up, put it out to the masses, and if the more people that focus on it, the more powerful it becomes. Okay, this is how deities are created. This is how energy becomes matter. I already told you how we come here as human beings. Spirit equals energy, right? And I told you that man gives the spirit to the woman, and the woman transforms it to matter. She's the alchemist that transforms spirit to matter. It's the same thing with anything else. Okay, I want to let you guys know that human beings create their own demons with the power of their minds. And Corona is getting a lot of power. Exactly. You're exactly right. And the whole entire world is thinking one thought right now. The whole entire world is fearing one thing. You know how much power is given to that. Okay. And again, like I said, you could think this with anything. This is mass alchemy right now. All those, it doesn't matter. Like I said, anybody can make something up. And if the whole world, or just a big portion of the world, is all focused on it, all that energy is going to that one aspect, and that's what's being created. We are creators. Okay. We are creators. That's what I was saying last night about you knowing your worth as one of the creators. I'm talking about to my people right now. I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to my people. I'm talking about to the people that are awakening. I'm talking about you. This is the reason why you're here right now. This is the reason why you're on my channel right now. This is the reason why you're on other people's channel that have the same message as me or similar message as me, because you're awakening right. I don't have time to, to do that because I'm on my path. I'm awakening myself. We have work to do. And I told you last night that the ones that are awakening are meant to lead the nations. These are the true leaders of the nations. Okay. So it's imperative for us to keep our crowns. It's imperative for us to keep our composure. Remember, I always told you to walk that middle path. I always tell you to walk the middle path. I always tell you do not get swayed back and forth. I say this all the time. The magicians, us occultists, we don't get swayed back and forth. The masses always get swayed left and right. Okay. As us to be leaders, we have to keep composure. If you think of a leader, right, the leader can't panic, because the moment the leader starts to panic is the moment everything starts to fall apart. Okay. Namaste, Marley. The moment the leader starts to panic, which again, we are the leaders of the nations. That's why you're here. The thing is, individuals know that you're the leaders of the nation. So what would they start doing? They would start manipulating the information that's supposed to be meant for you. Okay? This is why I'm always so adamant about rephrasing what a lot of these other YouTubers are saying. And I'm not even blaming them. A lot of them just don't even know themselves. A lot of them just don't know. Some of them do know. I don't have the time to pick and choose who knows who and who doesn't know. The only thing that I have time for is to reframe the message. Is to reframe the message about this thing we call spirituality. Okay? Because it's not what they're talking about. I told you spirituality is everything. Everything is of the spirit. Okay? Your body, this computer, this microphone. For all my artists out there, make sure you get this microphone. This is I don't even know. They call it it's an eyeball that goes around your microphone. I don't know why. I just had a whole ADHD moment. Shout out to Mexico. Moon Whisperer. I mean, yeah, you're right. People do love the drama because it's exciting. Because you want to know why? It's because we love a story. Remember, I always bring it up all the time that the story is captivating to the mind. So that's why when we write a story, we have to put in drama. We have to put in the hero, the villain, the destruction, the healing. That's just a part of human nature, right? But I'm telling you that, you see, we can't get away from that. But I'm letting you know, as a person that's supposed to be a leader in this generation, that you personally have more responsibility than somebody who's not in the know. That's the thing about this. When you take that red pill, you have now gained more responsibility. When you are the leader, you are more responsible. Okay? So you can't really fault the masses for doing what they do. It's always going to happen. Just go throughout history. The masses always go like this. They always sway back and forth. Okay? But I'm speaking to you. Don't get mad at them for what they're doing. They're doing what they're supposed to do. The masses are always going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to sway. Okay. Just because they're doing that, my question is, what are you going to do about it? You got to keep your composure. Anytime something composure and walk this middle path, you have to see, you have to kind of train yourself to think in an unbiased way so you can understand what's truly going on. Because again, during these times, it's our responsibility to take the seat, to take charge. Okay, you were given these thoughts and these ideas for a reason. You're given these thoughts and ideas for a reason. You don't think the way that you do for no reason. You don't feel so different from everybody else for no reason. I guarantee you, everybody in this live right now feels really different from everybody else. Let me know if that's true. I guarantee you, you don't feel like, some of you might not feel like you belong. Some of you might feel like nobody understands you. Well, guess what? I'm gonna let you know why. Okay, I'm gonna let you know why. Because you were gifted with these attributes that other people are not gonna understand unless they're in your shoes. That's why I'm always talking about focus on your purpose. That's why I'm always talking about focusing on your purpose. How are you going to change the world? Okay, every time something pops up, are you going to let yourself be infected by the Walking Dead? Like I said, like the analogies of the zombie movies, right? When you thrive on that, they consume it. If you think about the zombie character, it consumes. That's why we talk about fasting all the time, because we consume so much. But remember, we don't just consume with the mouth. You don't just consume with eating. You also consume with hearing and listening and touching and feeling. You also consume with thinking and thoughts. Well, what I mean is, because none of us are, for the most part, are creating original thoughts. We're using regurgitated thoughts. So when I talk about fasting, most people just talk about the physical, just like the detox thing. Remember the whole reason I was giving out the detox session, because I'm teaching people how to really detox. Because when people talk about detox, and they only talk about the physical. So when somebody talks about fasting, they're only talking about the physical. They only say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna stop eating. I'm gonna stop eating, and that's my true fast." No, you got to stop listening to music too for a little while. You got to stop watching TV. Get off of social media. That's fasting. So during these times as well, especially when there's fear all over the place. Now, I'm an individual that doesn't advocate getting away from social media the whole time, thoroughly, because this is the new wave of our generation. I always told you, you have to change with the times. Only immature people don't want to change with the times. I told you, the older people get, the more immature they get. Children are the most change with the times, and until adults beat into them, take their creativity away, it's not their fault, because it was done to them when they were children. So what I mean about the social media thing is that I know you like, I miss the way things used to be before social media. Guess what? It's never going to go back. You got to change with the times. Now, what I am saying is that you can take breaks. Remember the whole thing about sexuality as well? When certain spiritual people tell you celibacy and all this stuff and all this junk, that comes from religion, by the way. But I say you can take breaks. Well, guess what? In your sexual life, the universe will make you take breaks regardless. That's when you're not talking to anybody. But what I'm telling you is, you don't want to force yourself to do these things. Now, social media, again, if you see all this negativity everywhere and you're one of these sensitive individuals that just take on the toxicity the moment you're consumed in it. Now, if you're like me and you can handle it and you can still surf the web and you can be on here and you can do your thing, that's fine. And let's keep rocking out. But you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. I always say that, right? You got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. If you know that you're more of a sensitive person and you can't take in this information, you got to shut it down. Take a break for a little while. I'm not telling you to get off of social media for the next year or two. I'm telling you to take a break for like a week or two. I'll go week. So you can get your mind right again. But I'm telling all the people that can push through that we need you more than ever right now. We need you more than ever to keep pushing through, to keep posting your messages, to keep the positivity up. You know, we need you more than ever. Because like I said, that's what I'm going to do. But I know my strengths and weaknesses. Greetings, Samariah. Oh, see, Diggs, you said I'm a big fan of the Walking Dead. Yeah, I tell people these storylines, you got to know the secrets of mythology. Everything is being told to us all the time. It's just not literal. So there's not going to be a literal zombie apocalypse. If you're waiting for a literal zombie apocalypse, then you're not getting the message. When 2012 came around, right, and everybody was saying it was the end of the world, they didn't get the message. They were taking things too literal. It was the end of the world, but not literally. It was the end of the age of Pisces. The zombie apocalypse is describing the apocalypse that already happened in the 1st century. Okay? Already happened in the 1st century. It's still active today. That's when the virus started spreading. And I'm speaking mythology right now. So I'm not talking about literal virus. I'm talking about the virus spreading in the 1st century, started affecting the whole entire world. Now there's barely anybody still alive. Because before the 1st century, we had a lot of awakened ones. But they were purged, they were slaughtered. And that virus, the fear is the virus. Okay? The fear is the virus that infects and it turns you into a zombie. Because where did the fear come from, guys? It came from the religions. Because if we go back before the 1st century, the so-called religions, they weren't really religions, but the so-called religions, they didn't have like a hell, and like if you you know, you're going to hell and stuff if you don't do certain things, if you don't believe in a certain God, you're going to hell. They didn't have that. That didn't come to the 1st century. That fear spread to everybody. And what happened is everybody became docile and they just became a consumer instead of a creator. That was the disease that started in the 1st century. So you got to think again, you got to stop thinking so literal, because when you see these movies, you might be like, oh my God, one day there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, or one day, you know, like a movie like The Day After Tomorrow or something like that. The world's going to end, or so on and so forth. We have to understand. All right. We have to understand. So the fear is the virus that infected the whole world, all affected by Christianity, Islam, Judaism, or Buddhism. Okay. And it's one of the 4. And if you can tell me that your household wasn't affected by that, I can guarantee you outside of your household, you were affected by it. Okay. Outside of your household, you were affected by it. If you weren't affected by it inside the household, those religions spread the fear, which is the virus, the infection that turns you into a consumer, where you just consume. Let me get get my charger before this thing dies. That turns you into a consumer. Now, of course, you have to consume, but what I mean is that you got to balance it out. You got to create things too. All you're doing is taking. You've become a leech. And I'm not saying you directly, but I'm talking about, when I say you, I'm talking about the world. You guys know what I mean. People have become leeches, energy vampires, where they just take. This is why I was saying in some of my videos, when's the last time you gave back something to nature? So the next time you're out in nature, right? When I tell you to hug a tree, right? When you're hugging the tree, why don't you focus on giving energy to the tree? When's the last time you ever done that? When's the last time you planted something intentionally just for nature, not for you to even pick any fruit or any vegetables? If you start giving back to nature, you see what I mean? To give back and not be an energy vampire, because most of us are energy vampires to some degree. And a lot of times it's to the world itself. It's to the mother earth itself. When's the last time you were sun gazing and you envisioned yourself giving energy back to the sun? The sun's always giving you energy. When's the last time? When's the last time? We can even talk about human beings. Now, I do want to bring up something. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring up this and I'm gonna look at some of the chat so I can start interacting with you guys. I do want to bring up the whole fear thing, because natural fear is a real thing. That you can't get rid of natural fear. What I mean is social fear. That's why I named the title the way it is. Social fear is destruction. Natural fear is like if your life is in danger, if it's really in danger. For the most part, our fears are just ideologies. So that's the difference. If your life is in danger, let's just say you're in a car with a drunk driver and the drunk driver is swerving and you start feeling fear. That's real. That's good fear. You need to take control of that situation because your life is in danger. You need to take action on that fear because your life is in danger. What I'm talking about is social fear that comes from ideologies. Okay? Social fear, like fear of opening yourself to somebody. That's toxic fear. They're going to take advantage of me, or blah, 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 blah. Or if I do this, I'm going to go to hell. If I believe this other thing, I'm going to go to hell. Or I'm going to be punished by God, or, all these ideologies. You see what I'm saying? That's where the toxicity comes from. So I'm going to check some of these chats. Thank you for participating, everybody. So LG, I feel misunderstood. That's why I built my own group of understood people so they can feel like they have a place to belong. Relationships is quite important. And yes, that's the whole reason. Now, LG, you're absolutely right. And this is why we have this platform right here, so we can speak to each other. But I also want to let you know that you don't want to have the fear to not communicate with anybody else. You're going to have to communicate with the rest of the world. Remember, like I said, you're Neo in the Matrix. You have to move through the Matrix to make a change. Now, check that movie out, right? Think about it. They kept going back into the Matrix to make a change within real life. What is that telling you? They didn't just stop going into the Matrix. They knew it wasn't real, the illusion, right? They had to keep going into the Matrix to make change within the real realm. It's the same thing here. You have to participate in society to make changes within this world. You know it's not real. That's why I keep putting emphasis on not running away, because that is fear from an ideology. I'm not telling you to go into the woods and to cut off everybody. That's fear from an ideology. That's toxicity. I'm not telling you to exclude everybody besides anybody who thinks just like you. That's fear from an ideology. I'm not telling you to don't get in, don't chill, hang out with people that don't eat the same way that you eat. That's fear from an ideology, because you never know how you're affecting people. They might not understand you today, but if they see your results, this is why it's so important for you to have results. Are you getting results? Are you putting your 100% effort in this? Because if other people don't see your results, they're not going to believe you. You see what I mean? So we can speak to we can speak to the choir. That's fine. But remember, that's not your sole job here, is to speak to the choir. It's not my sole job just to only speak to you guys that are awakening, right? Because when I go out into the realm, when I go out into the matrix, right? Which, I mean, everything is the matrix, but all what I mean is when I go out into society, people feel my energy. People feel your energy, and you're making changes just by that. People see my results. When people start seeing your results and start asking questions and getting curious, they're gonna start wanting to do what you do. That's how you become a leader. You become a leader because in order to become a leader by force, you're gonna have to give the people fear. That's the only way you can lead by force, is if you give people fear. Well, guess what? We don't have to do that over here. We lead by example. We lead by results. Shout out to you, the empathic chicken. Okay, let me look at celebrities being paid to say they have it and don't look sick one bit. Hey, man, you never know. It could be. Because think about it. If you have a product, right? If you have a product and you want people to buy your product, couldn't you pay a celebrity to say, hey, here's my product, you guys should get it? It's called social, it's called influencer marketing. All my people that know business know influencer marketing. You get a celebrity to promote your product because the people trust the celebrities. They don't trust the politicians. We're not stupid anymore. We're not dumb anymore. We don't trust businessmen anymore. We don't trust politicians. We don't trust presidents. We don't trust government officials. We don't trust judges, police. And we don't trust these people. We don't even trust the military. But guess what? Who we do trust? We trust celebrities for some odd reason. So of course they're going to put the celebrities in the front to promote their product, which is fear. Forget about the dang virus. Okay? Forget about it. It's not about that. It's not about the virus at all. It's not about a sickness. It never has been. It's not about cancer. It's not about HIV. It's not about diabetes. It's not about none of that. It's about one thing. The product is fear, social fear. All right. Yeah, sun gazing is powerful. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I mean. Social fear. That's the product. Remember, I always saying, don't get caught up on the surface value of things. The surface value is the sickness. Remember, I'm always saying, look from the third eye. We got to start training ourselves to look from the third eye. And what I mean by that, it's not some crazy mystical thing that you're going to start seeing all these different things. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But what I mean is you're going to start understanding symbolism. That's what I mean by seeing things from your third eye. You don't just look at things like you see a cell phone, right? But if you're looking from your third eye, you see the symbolism behind the cell phone. What's the symbolism behind the cell phone? Telepathy. Okay. You start seeing everything for what it is. Deep down, you start going deeper. You don't just look at the surface value of things. Remember when I was saying about when you see somebody, most people, we judge them off of the surface value right away. We've been trained to do this. I know that you don't want to do this, Consciously, you don't want to do this, but subconsciously, you do. You look at somebody's skin color first. You look at their hairstyle first. Then, the way that they dress, the way that they talk. Okay. You start judging people right away from these aspects. And what happens when you find something or someone that you don't understand? You start to fear them. This creates social fear. Think about think about 9/11. All my Americans, everybody, all my Americans. Think about what happened with 9/11, right? What happened after that? Everybody started fearing Muslims. So as soon as they seen that long beard and them garbs, just like right now, well, we could bring it up to date. Let's not even go to 9/11. All right, since everybody can relate to this. Okay. If you're considered not to be Asian race, right? Asians are being looked at the same way Muslims were being looked at in America when 9/11 happened. You see, it's not about any of these things. It's the same thing with slavery, right? Same thing with slavery. When you see slavery, when you hear about slavery, you think black people, white people. Black people being the slaves, white people being the slave owners, right? Surface value, because it's not about the race. Okay. For the most part, every slave, there were slaves of all races all around the world. We forget about the Native Americans being slaves too. Because it's not about that. Now, of course, yes, African slavery is the biggest slavery there was, of course. But we got to remember that what I want you to go is deeper in the aspect of why these things are presented. The main product is fear. Anything that you want to talk about, what do you guys want to talk about? I can always bring it up to this product that they're selling to you. And they're selling it very, very well, because I told you already, when you're in fear, you go all the way down to the bottom. Let's talk about these chakra centers. Let's talk about these chakra centers. What chakra center is all the way down at the bottom? The root chakra. It's the first center you have to move through. What is represented by the root chakra? Survival. What happens if you're not in? What happens when you're in survival mode? You're in fear of your life. Because guess what? If you was living in the wilderness, because that's what represents the root chakra. If you're living in the wilderness and you got to worry, you got to fear the elements, you got to fear the animals, you got to fear other human beings, you have to fear the food that you're eating, you got to fear the water that you're drinking because it might be toxic. That's where most people are at. So think about the spiritual people telling you to live like this again. Isn't that backwards? We got to understand that human beings always go through a cycle. I'm going to tell you something. Human beings always go through this cycle. All right. Whether you want to believe in the timeline that they give you for human existence is up to you. I'm not telling you to believe in anything. I just want to speak to you real quick. I just want to tell you something real quick, and you can take it for what it is. Human beings go within a cycle. All right. Our timeline is way, way longer than what they tell you. And this could be proven. This is proven all within ancient cultures. But the thing is, I mean, most of the time they're going to teach you that in school. So you got to dig yourself. All right. What happens is this. We reach a golden age. All right. We reach a golden age where we become one with nature and man's creations. Now, what I mean by man's creations is technology. So as we speak right now, we're in this period of time where we're still destroying nature in order to produce technology. So we're not in a golden age yet. The golden age comes when we become one with nature and man's creation. So think about technology that's based off of the sun, like solar technology. That is technology that's one with nature because it's not destroying nature, but you're still creating. See what I mean? Um, like solar vehicles, things of that, to that aspect. That's one with nature. Though you are creating, you're not destroying it. Okay. So that for some reason, after that golden age, there tends to be a huge conflict between whoever is in rulership during those time periods, and they destroy each other, which in return destroys everything around us. After that, again, here's we're getting into a little bit of fogginess where there's all these different stories. So it's not particular one story, but I'm just going to sum it up that there's some kind of catastrophe that affects the whole entire world. Some say it's the flood, the ice age, the whatever it may be you can think of. Some kind of catastrophe comes and humanity is primarily wiped out, but a few people survive. What happens to those that survive this? They have to start from the bottom again because they were so used to technology. Now they're living, in fear again because they have to worry about the elements again. They have to worry about the wildlife again. They have to learn how to create fire again. You see what I mean? This is how these certain tribes knew about things all around the world but had no technology. They were passing down stories verbally. Why do you think some of these tribes knew about planets in space that scientists didn't even know about? And oh yeah, they know about a whole other bunch of things that scientists don't know about today yet. I told you, regular science is so late. They were passing down these things verbally, but guess what? They were passing down the science verbally through mythology. We are just taking the mythology literal. So that's the cycle. Then you start all over again. You come back up, Golden age. The golden age always lasts for a short period of time, and then destruction comes down again. Okay. Thank you, purposely purple. Purposely purple. Thank you. I appreciate that donation. Okay, I really do. Honestly, I appreciate that donation. So you see the cycle. This is what happens. Who knows how long this cycle's been going on? So you're probably asking, well, where's the evidence of the past lifetimes? They're finding evidence all the time. They're finding evidence at the bottom of the oceans. They're finding evidence in South America. They're finding evidence in Africa. They're finding evidence in the Middle East. They're just not putting it out there. Remember, in the first century, the Christian church started burning all the libraries. That's where a lot of the evidence was. But guess what? They were taking it for themselves, but they didn't want anybody to know this. Come on, guys, think about it. The whole world was, you know, even though it was separated, the whole world was in their own little pockets, minding their own business, right? And all of a sudden, the Northern Hemisphere just so happened out of nowhere, very, very quickly, gained a whole bunch of technology and started slaughtering everybody and taking over. That doesn't just happen, guys. If you really think that just happened at a coincidence, come on, man. You're not thinking from here. You're not seeing the symbolism. Let me check some of these comments. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you again, Purposely Purple, for making that donation. I appreciate it. Yeah, yes, everyone's reaction that is more frightening than the virus because, yeah, like I said, it's not about the virus. You know, it's not about the virus at all. It's never about the product. The real product, like I said, the real product is social fear. Think about it. Think about this. Even if this virus dissipates, right, it could dissipate next week and no more cases. People are still going to be afraid to be around each other for a long time now. Think about it. You're going to be afraid to shake somebody's hand for a long time now. You're going to be afraid to go to parties and big gatherings for a long time now. So even if the physical effects dissipate next month, the psychological effects probably won't dissipate for another year or two. Okay. Oh, Jamal, we need to create our own physical community. I'm trying. I was going to go to different cities again, like I was saying that before. Um, I wanted to. I had a lot of work to do from my other businesses. One of my businesses, one of my other businesses, I do live events. I do parties and music events and networking events. So obviously, you guys know that's out the window for me. Remember when I was always telling you guys to have diversified income because I said, what happens if one income is destroyed? You still got other incomes. You see what I mean? Perfect example right there with me personally. Let's just say I only had one business and that was my live events. I would be screwed right now. Like a lot of people are. I know a lot of people in the live event business realm that they only had that one income and they're all screwed. I feel sorry for them. I want to help them out, but I'm telling you guys what it is. You got to have multiple streams of income. For all the YouTubers out there, what happens if they just shut the internet off? What are you going to do then? You're screwed. Okay. I don't want you guys to be in that same boat. I want you guys to have all your desires. That's why I just say focus on one thing at a time. So you can focus on one thing, build it up to where it's taking all your time, and then you can focus on another desire. So you have that one desire in the pocket because live events is one of my desires. Again, I know myself. I like to go out and dance and party. I like to see people performing music. I like to go out and network with people. So of course I turned that into a business. That's a desire of mine. Okay. So you have that one desire in the pocket, then you start focusing on another desire. You build that up to the point where again you can delegate, you have people start running it for you, and then you have that in the pocket. I'm giving you game here. And you just keep, this is how people become millionaires and billionaires. They keep building up, putting things into the pocket, putting things into their arsenal and focusing on something else. And again, they just keep adding more incomes. Next thing you know, I have all these different incomes coming in. So if one income falls out, like with my live events, the income fell out, right? I can't do no live events right now. Well, guess what? I have my online businesses, okay, doing marketing and branding for other businesses online and stuff like that. I'm doing the consultations with you guys, giving people the astrology readings, all that stuff, numerology readings, consultations, all that good stuff. I'm getting my checks from YouTube. Okay. And then still doing the recording stuff, mixing down audio for people that like to do music, mixing down and mastering music. It's another income of mine. Told you guys I have a bachelor's degree in music and audio production. You see what I mean? This is, I'm telling you stuff that I actually live. I'm not just, you know, I'm actually trying to tell you stuff that I live. Okay. So the main product is that social fear. They got, like I said, the psychological effects is that you're going to be scared to be around people for a long period of time. So in all actuality, my live events business might be dormant for a long time. where, you know, there might be still people that come out to my events, but it's not going to be as large as possible, because everybody's still have that in the back of their mind. Because here's the thing with all these virus outbreaks, right? You got to remember, these things never truly disappear. They just get under control. Think about the flu virus. The flu virus has been around for thousands of years. Now, they've had plagues that killed a lot of people. The flu virus still kills a lot of people today. But you weren't thinking about it because it's so long and you're not really worried about the flu. Okay. SARS is still a thing, guys. SARS is still killing people. I don't think you realize that it didn't just disappear. None of these viruses disappear. They just become hot, and then it's like a celebrity, like your favorite artist. They become hot, they blow up, right? You know, they're all over the place. Everybody's talking about them, and then they kind of start dissipating, disappearing, and you think they're not doing anything no more. But here's the thing: these artists, they're still on tour. They're still going on tour, right? They're still getting money. They didn't disappear. They just, you know, they're just out of your sight, but they didn't disappear. Same thing with the diseases. Yo, thank you. Thank you. All right. So if we move closer to the equator and live near nature, is that considered trying to escape? Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. What I mean is it all depends on what you're doing it for. Because I want to live in a warmer climate. I told you, everybody knows I live in Philly, so I want to live in an environment that's warm 20, you know, all around the year. All right. So, you know, but I'm not going to be running from society. That's the difference. So I'm going there to live, but I'm still going to be doing my thing in the communities. I'm still going to be doing my thing online. I'm not running, you know, I'm not running from society talking about we need to get out of the matrix when the matrix is everything. You think nature isn't a part of the matrix too? Everything that is created here is made out of nature. Okay? There's not one thing that's produced that isn't made out of natural resources. Tell me something that's not made out of natural resources, guys. Nature is the matrix too. So that's what I mean, if that makes sense. Is like that whole aspect that, oh, we're getting out of the matrix. We're not a part of this anymore. We're separate from this. You're not separate because you're still breathing. Okay? You're not separate from anything. Just because you feel so spiritual doesn't mean like you're too good to be in the materialistic realm. That you're too good, you know, like these people like to use excuses, like they're so toxic, right? That they can't provide for themselves, and then they blame the materialistic realm. They're like, oh, it's because I'm so spiritual. Don't ever disrespect spirituality like that. This is what I want to say to those people that are doing. Don't ever disrespect this craft like that. Don't ever disrespect this craft and blame the craft, you know, for you being poor and toxic. Same thing with the empath thing, right? People say that they're empath because they're an empath, they have anxiety and they're toxic. Don't ever disrespect the empaths of this world. Because being an empath has nothing to do with anxiety. You're disrespecting these people that are true empaths out here that are changing the world, that are out here helping people all across the world. Empath has nothing to do with social anxiety. That's a toxic trait that you can heal yourself from and become a true empath and reach your true potential, which a true empath is going to go out into the world and make changes. And they're not going to sit behind closed doors. They feel too much of the world. They're the people on the ground. They're the people in these other countries that you're scared to go to. You're scared to go to places like Liberia in the Middle East. These people are on the ground because they're empaths. These people are risking their lives, and people on YouTube and stuff are disrespecting this craft, disrespecting my people, disrespecting your people. Don't let them get away with that because they're toxic. It has nothing to do with these things. It has nothing to do with you being spiritual. It has nothing to do with you being an empath. It has nothing to do with you being awakening. Nothing toxic has anything to do with those things. You're toxic because because of something, because of an addiction. That's why you're toxic. Okay. You might be addicted to blaming others, and that's how you have social anxiety. I don't know. Again, you see what I mean? Don't let these people disrespect your people. Like I said, the people are out here really doing something. I'm kind of getting sick of it, but it is what it is. People are disrespecting astrology every single day with those horoscopes. Those horoscopes you see online. I'm about to go on a rant. They're disrespecting astrology with those horoscopes. They're disrespecting my craft, so I take it personally because astrology is one of my greatest crafts. That's one of my strengths. All right. They're disrespecting me, man. And if you take astrology serious too, they're disrespecting you as well. You see? But we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. So empathic chicken. I'm sorry, let me see. This might be off topic and it's conspiracy theory related, but I'm wondering about your thoughts on extraterrestrials. Well, I mean, what do what's the question about extraterrestrials? That's my question to you. I mean, because the topic could be very vast. I mean, what do what about it? Is it possible for us to keep the golden age? Wait a minute. Is it possible for us to keep the golden age going next time so we don't fail? From my understanding, I'm not going to say this is a fact, Shamar, but from my understanding, the cycle always keeps moving. You got to think about it. Life itself represents movement. Nothing is stagnant. So you can't just stay in one place and become stagnant. It's always going to move. It's always going to be continuously moving. Because you got to think about it. If there was no pain, there would be no pleasure. So you have to go through a winter and a fall to get the experience spring and summer. And we're talking, ideology here. Because of course there's some places on this planet that don't experience really those seasons, but they experience it energetically if you pay attention. So you have to go through pain in order to experience pleasure. Life has to move on. So though we want to be in this place, like it's like when you say you retire, right? I'm retiring. There's no such thing as retiring because you still have to keep moving. Okay, so though we want to hold on to the golden age and live this peaceful life where everything is peace, peace can't exist without pain. For all my Naruto fans out there, for all my people that watch Naruto, remember that character Pain? Go back to where he was where Pain was talking to Naruto when they were fighting. Go back to that conversation. I'm trying to tell you these series and these shows give you the information. People are just not paying attention. You can't have no peace without pain. Okay, you got to have some kind of destruction. You got to have death in order to get life. So Shamar, like again, from my understanding, you can't keep the golden age forever, right? It has to change. This thing so far has definitely been spiritual lesson, overcoming fear and need of control. Yes. This is a financial wake up. Yes, yes. Okay. Exactly. Spiritual. Oh, Raymond, what is your sign? My son's sign is Virgo. Okay. I gave out my whole chart last night. I said my sun sign is Virgo, my ascendant sign is Cancer, my moon sign is Cancer, My Mercury sign is Libra. My Venus sign is Scorpio. My Mars is in Libra. My Jupiter is in Cancer. And my Saturn is in Capricorn. My South node is Leo. My North node is Aquarius. My ruling sign is Cancer. My ruling element is water. My ruling mode is the cardinal mode. And I'm not gonna go through all throughout the houses and all that stuff though. Okay. Light can't exist without darkness. You're absolutely right. OLG. I'm sorry, brother. I've been, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was so busy, but I still have the message, so I'm gonna check that game out. Okay. I'm still gonna check that game out. And thank you for presenting that to me, LG. I really appreciate that. Okay. I'm gonna check that out. Oh, Raymond, you said Pain is one of my favorite characters, and me and my lady were trying to pinpoint your son. We were both right. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Yo, Pain is one of my favorite animation characters as well. I mean, it's just because, guys, I mean, for the people that watch the series, I'm trying to tell you that guy was, his whole character was literally telling you everything. Okay. His whole character was literally telling you everything. Anybody that's one of my magic coaching sessions, what I'm talking about with mythology and fantasy. I said that fantasy is reality and reality is actually fantasy. We just got to understand this. But the main thing, again, that I wanted to bring here is, like I said, I'm going to keep going live. I'm going to keep going live as much as I can. As if I have the time to do so, I'm going to keep going live to keep bringing this frequency up. I don't care if it was just one person on this live. If I can affect one person, I told you it creates a domino effect. I told you that just one person, changing one person is going to create a domino effect that's going to go all around, because then that one person affects one person, the other person affects a couple other people, and then those people, you see what I mean? It starts spreading. I don't care if there's only one person on this live stream. I'm going to go live as much as possible. Okay. Much as possible to dispel, to fight back. This is my form of fighting back. All right. This is my form of pushing back. Because again, there's only so much I can do. But again, like I told you, it doesn't matter, how little it is. And you can think about this for yourself as well. Combat this crap that's going on right now. Don't let them just, take all your energy. That's what they're doing. They got everybody so focused on them, and all your energy is going to them. Let's start taking back our energy, man. Oh, you said, I notice Virgos tend to be intellectual and teacher like. Everybody says that, And you got a water sign in your chart, 22 viewer. Yeah, I did have 20. Now it's 21. It fluctuates. I got 22 likes, 22 thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button for me. Good stuff. Thanks for getting out to us. Yeah. No problem. No problem. No problem, Chris. Again, like I said, I just, I want you to understand why, because I told you, fear brings you down. Remember when I was talking about the chakra centers, and I said fear lies down at the root chakra because that's your survival mode. Okay, that's your survival mode. So, and I mean social fear. I want to keep reminding this. When you fear things for no reason, like there's no threat to your life. So, so for example, um, if you're, like the fear of speaking to the public, that's considered a toxic fear because there's no threat to your life. Why are you scared of that? And we all get nervous. It doesn't matter. I mean, because we were trained to get nervous. Because as a child, most likely your mother or your father told you to shut up in public. Be quiet. Don't do that. Don't say this. Don't say this. They enforce that because their parents enforce that on them. So when you're in your grocery store with your little 3-year-old or 4-year-old and you're telling them, stop, don't say that, don't do this, don't do that, what you're creating is social anxiety for them. They're going to be scared to speak up in adulthood. They're going to be scared to speak up, to communicate to the public now because they were trained to shut up. Okay, necessarily the parents, that's just playing music and TV that's messing up relationships today because they're putting that fear that, all you see is we get attracted to the drama, things like Love and Hip Hop and stuff and Scandal and even just the name Scandal. What is that doing? Putting that fear that everything is scandalous within relationships. There is no such thing that you can really truly love somebody. Somebody's just going to cheat on you and it's only about sex. And the guy only wants you for sex, right? And the woman only wants you for your money. These are the fears that happen. So the woman, her fear is that the guy only wants her for sex because it was embedded, it was beaten to her that that's really what all men want. It says it all the time. Like all men, they think about sex. I forget the exact percentage, but it's like 99% of the time. If that was really, how will we ever get anything done if men thought about sex that much? Come on, guys, you got to be realistic, man. And then same thing with the women only wanting you for your money and for you to only take something, gain something from you. Again, these are all fears that are just beaten to you. I tell you where the fear of the woman comes from, the celebrity guys, right? Guys, regular guys. I'm speaking to you guys. If you're not a celebrity, you don't have to worry about, gold diggers. Okay, because you're not a celebrity. So their fear is real because if they're a celebrity, then yes, they're going to have tons of women that just want to use them because they're famous. So that's where their fear comes from. So when they make music, they're expressing themselves, right? They're expressing themselves. So of course they're going to put that in their music, but you gotta think from your third eye. That's their reality. Oh, peace out. Peace and love, the empathic chicken. I'll be talking to you soon. I'll be hitting you up for your next magic coaching session. So peace and love. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. So the artist, right, that's famous, they're gonna put that in their reality that they can't trust a woman because it's their reality because they're famous. Now, what happens with you is you're not thinking from your third eye. You absorb that and you're like, wow, I can't trust a woman. These women are only out here to get my money. They're only out here because I'm the man. And again, other, taking it back because I don't want to just focus on one. I'm gonna go on the woman's side too. With thinking men just only want you for your body. If you only think like that, you're going to project that. And guess what? Only men will only want you for your body then. But you got to understand something about the man, that the man automatically, I remember I was telling you guys about the laws of attraction between man and woman and where desires start and end for a man and woman. If you weren't familiar, I said that a woman's desire starts from the top down. So when a man is trying to persuade a woman to even go out on a date or even become intimate with him, the best way that he can persuade her is by touching her imagination. You see, touching her imagination. That's why women like to read about these things. They like to picture it in their imagination. They like to watch the movies, right? Guys, you're wondering why your girlfriend likes to read those books and watch the movies because she's imagining it. and you're wondering why she doesn't give you attention no more, is because you don't spark the imagination anymore. You become so comfortable that you don't try anymore. You become too direct. Now, on the opposite end, right? The man's starts from the bottom up. You see? So on the flip side, when the woman feels like she's no longer valuable anymore, like the man, he's always wanting to go out with his friends. He's always distracted playing video games. He wants to do this, he wants to do that, and he doesn't want to pay attention to you. Why? You ever ask yourself why? Because again, there's always a flip side. Because none of us are taught how to be in relationships anymore. And that's why they don't work out. You know, a lot of people are not, we're not taught, we're not taught how to be in relationships anymore. And yeah, you're saying not everyone is on your level of consciousness, so a lot of men and women are shallow, maybe because of the social condition. That's what I mean, is that they're not taught, we're not taught how to run relationships anymore. The conditioning that we've learned from, okay, it's called sexual education. And remember, I brought this up before when I was talking about Karma Sutra and Tantra, because that's true sexual education. But people are too fearful. People and remember I said people fear what they don't understand. So you go online, right? You go online, you go to social media, right? All you see is this war between man and woman. Women's just coming at men all the time. I don't understand them. They're stupid. Why don't men do this? Right? It's because they don't understand. Then men on the flip side, all all women are dumb. Like, why are all women? This generation of women is crap. It's that constant war. Both sides are immature as hell, and both sides don't know anything. They fell into that fear-based ideology of not understanding, because you fear what you don't understand. Started it. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Both sides are in the wrong. No use in arguing about it. You're probably asking, well, how do we fix this? Well, the fixing is deeper than just relationships. The fixing is the product that's always being sold to you, called FEAR. And it's being sold. Don't worry about that. Everybody is not waking up. It's okay. It's always going to be like that. There's always, in every generation, there's only going to be right now. If you're feeling these feelings right now, if you're thinking these thoughts right now, that's the calling for you. The calling, what we're having right now is a little meeting between the leaders. Okay. We're having this meeting between the leaders, and then we dissipate after I get off the live, and you go and lead your people. Okay. You go and lead your people. I'm not the leader of you guys. We're all leaders together. I'm not telling you to, for me to be your leader. Now, the people that wanted me to coach them through magic, yeah, of course, I'll coach you through magic since I'm good at it. Right? Just like if you was really good at football, and I want to learn football, I'm going to come to you and be like, yo, man, help me out, coach me out on this, man. I'm trying to learn this. Doesn't mean the coach is better than you. It just means they know how to make you better in that particular field. You see what I mean? There's something that every single one of you guys can coach me on. And there's somebody out there in the world that can coach me on magic, even though I'm really good at it. There's somebody better than me. There's always going to be somebody better than you in anything, right? So I just don't want you to fall victim of social fear. All right, that's that's the main thing. Like I said, I'm gonna keep going live. I'm gonna keep raising this frequency up. I'm gonna keep combating, and this is not just online. I'm combating in my physical reality too. That's what you got to think. The more people I talk to in my physical reality, the more people I'm changing. I'm changing. That's what you have to do. Because wherever attention goes, energy flows. People are making this thing more powerful. It's not, like I said, it has nothing to do with the virus. If nobody in this world ever thought about it again, the virus would disappear. I'm telling you the truth. This is how things work. If not one person on this planet ever thought about it again, it would disappear. The people, you are creators. We create everything. Okay. So I'm not going to stay too long on here. I just wanted to have a sweet, nice little talk with you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Appreciate every single one of you. I got a lot of love for every single one of you. I see a lot of my students, my magic coaching students in here. I see a lot of people that always support me in here, that continue to comment and on my videos and on my live stream. I see a lot of familiar names. Okay. And I appreciate that. As always, I always got to throw the plugs in there. As always, first, I'll throw the plug for you guys. Remember, if you have any businesses, you have any brands, you have any movements, send them to me. Email them to me, occulthealing22@gmail.com. So the next time I do a video or a live stream, I can promote that for you. So I can bring some traffic to you. Okay. So whatever you have, like I said, online, whatever business, brand, or movement, whatever it is that you're promoting, send it to me. When I make another video, I'll promote it to the people, not only just online. I'm going to be promoting it to people in my physical reality. All right. So think about what you want to create. For those people that don't have anything yet, think about what you want to create. This is the time period now. This is the spring equinox. That's the last thing I want to give you too. This is the spring equinox, the time that you should really think about planting these seeds so they can grow. What do you want to create? What are you trying to bring to us? Again, if you need help, you can always get a consultation with me. I done helped a couple different people. A lot of those people that I was shouting out in the last couple of videos, I helped them create their businesses and their websites. Okay. So if you're thinking like, dang, I just don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. Well, again, you can set up a consultation with me. Of course, I'm always going to ask for an equal exchange, just like I would give you an equal exchange. So if you were going to help me with my website, I would pay you to do it, because that's fair. That's an equal exchange. So, again, that's the plug for you guys. If you have anything, send it to me so I can promote it to people. Anybody, for all you guys that don't have anything yet, you don't have your own brand, your own movement, your own business yet, that's totally fine. Start thinking now, because remember, this is the spring equinox, and there's a very, very important spring equinox, 2020. The zeros represent you. You are the zero. You are the whole. You are the universe. You came out of the womb. Okay. You are the sun. You are the hero of the story. You are the main character. You see what I mean? You represent the number 0. So what's left? 22, master builder. This is the time to build. This is the time to build your foundation and create anything that you want to create. This is a very, very important time. That's why they're stopping your movement during this time, because I told you during the spring equinox is a time of movement. But that's okay. If you got to stay home, that's okay. Still move with your energy. Still keep projecting with your energy. So sit down, start thinking about what you want to create. This is for all the people that don't have their own business, their own movement, their own brand yet. Remember, your brand can be you. You could be on Instagram or YouTube kicking game, and that's your brand. For all the people that have a business, brand, or movement that's not going well, this is your time to sit down to think about how you can make it better. Plant that seed to make it better so you can start getting what you deserve. If you're a creator, you deserve to get what you put your hard work into. You deserve to get paid for that, so you can take care of your family, take care of your things, and also have fun in life and travel the world and eat great food and get massages and and stuff like that, and get massages and whatever you want to do. You deserve that. Okay, so that's my plug for you. That's your plug. My plug is, of course, as you already know, Anybody who wants astrology readings, numerology readings, tarot card readings, uh, just a one-on-one consultation with me, whatever we want to talk about. Remember, my consultations do not have time limits, so we can get deep into what we need to talk about. Uh, how to make money from home session. It is, if you want a list of my services, as always, you can email me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email's in the description of this video. I'll send you all the prices and the descriptions of the services, and we can talk, we can work. Just make sure you keep these frequencies high. Make sure you connect with the people in your local community. Thank you, Christina. All right, make sure you communicate with the people in your local community. Make sure you're raising your frequency. All right, so that's my little nugget to keep that frequency high. Take this time. Spend time with your family, spend time with your lovers, spend time with your children, spend time with your mind and your goals and your aspirations and your desires, and get ready for this spring equinox. Get ready for this energy. All right. And I'm gonna leave you in peace, hotep, namaste. And as always, you already know, one love, because it's one world, one people, one love. Peace.